everybody, and welcome to Storm Reads. And today I'm going to be doing the Monsterathon book tag. I loved participating in the Monsterathon last year, and so I'm going to do it again this year. And she has us do a Monsterathon tag as part of the challenge for Monsterathon. That way it just gives people some recommendations in case they don't know what to read for the prompts. This was very hard. I had a hard time with this one. But I did manage to get most of the prompts I have a recommendation for. There's one that I don't really have anything for, because I just couldn't think of anything that I've read. But for the most part, I have something. These are not all horror. I tried to do all horror, but I just couldn't find all horror for the prompts. So that's how it is. Anyway, let's just get right into it. And so the first team on the Monsterathon is the Beast. I have here, and so there's Whispering Wood, a book you haven't read much about or is underhyped. And for that one, I'm going to use The Mouth of the Dark by Tim Wagner. I read this, I think it was a couple years ago. And I haven't really heard much about it, and I don't really hear a whole lot, actually, about Tim Wagner, and he writes really strange books, really strange horror books. This one is about a guy who will do just about anything to save his daughter, even going into some kind of weird, shadowy dimension thing where there's some creatures and all kinds of bad things happening. And this one will forever be in my mind because of one thing in this book. And my friend knows exactly what it is, don't you, Barb? The Pink Devil. It will always... I will never forget the Pink Devil. It was horrible. It's like one of those things you can't erase from your mind after you've read about it. But it has clinched him to me as a really strange horror writer. And so far, I mean, I've only read a couple of his books, but so far I've liked what I've read, so yeah, I would recommend this one. And so the next one is The Lair of the Babadook, and that was to read a LGBTQIA plus or whatever it is. And I just don't really read a lot of queer books, and so I don't really have anything for this. The ones that I have read, like, that were authors that I know that are gay, I didn't really like their books. So, I know my friend likes, was it Shannon McGuire? She likes the Wayward Children series. So, I mean, there you go. But I've only read one. I read the first one. I didn't really like it. And her favorite one was the second one. And so I might try it to see if I like it. Because I did like Jack off of first one, and I think that's what the second one might be about, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I really don't have anything really for that one. And then the next one is Hydras Hangout, a book based on a mythological creature. And I haven't really read a whole lot of, like, mythological creatures, as in, like, gods and goddesses and hydras and, you know, those weird things. But I mean, as far as like witches and vampires and things like that, I've read a lot of things about, so I'm just gonna go with that. And I'm going to go with the Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness, because this is like my absolute favorite series. Me and my friend Buddy read this whole series last it was a trilogy, and then we read the companion novel that went with it, and we both really loved it. And I could probably just go ahead and reread this right now. I loved it that much. And this has witches and vampires and demons in it. So, I mean, it's got some good stuff in it. And it's about a lady, Diane, who's a witch, but she frowns upon the witch thing because her parents were killed because they were witches. And so she just prefers not to even think about it. But her powers come out every now and then, and there's nothing she can do. She can't control it. And that's how she meets a vampire. And this is a kind of like a romance type thing, and vampires and witches like creatures aren't supposed to like each other because it could cause problems, and they have to overcome that. Plus, she's able to call up a book that everybody wants because it could have like the story of how they evolved or whatever. And yeah, it was really good. I liked it. Okay. And then the next one is My Swamp, a book with a good-looking cover, and I'm going to go with pretty much anything that Hunter Shea has. I love all his covers. I've noticed that when he's with Flame Tree Press, all of his covers seem to have kind of a theme going on, but I like them. If you've seen any of his other covers from Flame Tree, they all pretty much look a little bit like this, with this like really grungy kind of I don't know, it looks kind of like graffiti or something. Like, it's kind of weird, but I like it. And he's like one of my favorite horror authors. This is his take on a slasher, and this one is about a ghost mine, and it's set in like it's a historical one because it's set in kind of like westerny times, and these guys go to this ghost mine, and there is like these Bigfoot creatures in it or whatever. So I mean, this would be a good one for Beast. But yeah, I really like them. And then the next ones is for the Haunts, and that's my team. Go Haunts. And the first one is for Under the Bed, a black or indigenous author that you've been like sleeping on. So one that you've been meaning to get to, but you haven't ever got to them yet, or something like this. And I'm going to recommend that you read Those Who Came Before by J.H. Moncrief. And this one is about Native American, I think it's kind of like a Wendigo-y type book or something, but it's got some kind of folklore to do with that. And these guys go camping, and this one wakes up and his friend is dead, like slaughtered, and his girlfriend and everything, and it's kind of making him go a little crazy. And then the I don't know, is it sheriff or chief or detective Gray Eyes, she goes to figure out everything, and she can't seem to get rid of this arrowhead. Like, it keeps coming up and around and everything. But I really liked it. It was really good, and you should give it a try. And then the next one is Secret Crip. So it was to read a mystery book, and I'm going to recommend that you read the Veronica Speedwell mysteries, because I absolutely love this series. And this is A Curious Beginning, the first one, and it's about Veronica Speedwell, who is I never can say this right, a lepidopterist. Anyway, she studies butterflies, and she has a little bit of a strange thing happen to her, and then some people are trying to hunt her down, and a guy gets killed that was a friend of a guy named Stoker, who ends up working with her to try to figure out what it is. And then they seem to go on lots of adventures together, trying to solve mysteries in all the other books. And I think there's 5 of them out now, I think. I've lost track. But anyway, I love them all. And this could also go for an aesthetically pleasing cover. And then a friendly recommendation. And so I think that was for the prompt, was a friendly neighbor's house. A friendly recommendation, yeah. So I'm going to recommend to you a book that my friend wants me to read, because she keeps telling me how much she loves this book. And she actually finally sent me a copy. So now I've got to read it. But this is Wither by J.G. Passarella. Don't know if I said that right. And I don't know anything about it, except for I know it's about witches. And she really liked the series, and so I really need to give it a try. Then the next one is A Moment of Peace, a comfort read. And so I am going to recommend the Crew of Hunter series. This is one way down the line. I haven't read this one yet. But I did get to actually meet the author and got it signed. So that's cool. But the Crew of Hunter series is a long-standing series that Heather Graham has put out that are like paranormal romances. And usually it involves detectives or FBI or whatever that have a little bit of a sight that can like see ghosts or hear ghosts or do them kind of things. And there's like over 25 or more of these books, and I think I'm on number 11, so yeah, I've got a ways to go, but they're just really fun. I mean, they're all very formulaic and everything, and I mean, they're not going to surprise you too much, but if you just like something that, you need something lighthearted and fun and, just something to chill with, it's a comfort read. So, yeah. Love me some Heather Graham. And then the next one is for the Conspiracies group. And I don't do a whole lot of science fiction alien-y stuff, but it's Area 51, something that has aliens or mutants in it, and the only thing that I could come up with that I have read and enjoyed would be Titan Shade by Dan Stout, and this is a mystery, but it is a mystery in a world where there are alien creatures that are your partners, so it's the best I could do. And yeah, this one, it was a lot of fun. He's kind of a guy who likes to work alone, kind of rough and tumbly. He's gotten a reputation because of something that happened that really wasn't his fault. And he gets partnered with a new guy, and he drags that poor new guy through a lot of things, the poor guy. But yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it. I really need to get to the second one, Titan Days. I haven't done that. I started it, and then I never finished it, and I need to finish it. Yeah, but I like this one. Rearview Mirror, book published 5 years ago for an indie author. Yeah, I was going to go with, because what kind of a recommendation would be good without Stephen King? And this one was published a long time ago. So I'm going to recommend that you read The Shining by Stephen King. I read this actually just this month. I listened to it on audio. It was super creepy. And I really enjoyed it. I'm, surprised that it's took me so long to read it. I have a ton of Stephen King books, actually, that I've collected that I've never actually read. So I've been trying to make it a point to get to them, and I've been trying to get to the older ones. And so, yeah, I really like this one. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody knows it by now, and most people have probably already read it. But, yeah, it's got a creepy haunted hotel, a kid that has the shining, a really mean father. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Then the next one is Upside Down, and it's to read a book that's like a retelling. And for that one, I have Lost Boy by Christina Henry. This is a Peter Pan retelling where Peter Pan is actually not a nice person, and Captain Hook, the character that it's the making, it's the true story of Captain Hook. So he's not exactly Captain Hook in this book. He sort of becomes Captain Hook like after this. Is his story about why he become Captain Hook, and I really liked it. It was dark and gritty and just really, really good. And it happens to be the only Christina Henry book so far that I've enjoyed, because I haven't liked any of her other ones. But I really like this one. And then the next one is The Bunker, and it's to read a book that has a disability or deaf rep. I had a really hard time with this one because I haven't really read a whole lot of books that I can remember or that I can recall that have disabilities of any kind. So I had to go with a middle grade book. I read this last year and I really enjoyed it. And this is Song for a Whale by Lynn Kelly, and this is about a deaf girl. And it's 12-year-old Iris has never let her deafness slow her down, and she loves electronics and building things, and she finds out about this whale. I think his name was Blue. I'm not sure. Yeah, Blue 55. And he doesn't have his own. He has a different song or something, and so his song, you know, I guess whales they have they communicate by their song or how they make their noise, and his noise is different than everybody else's, and so he's really alone, and she can kind of relate to that. So she is wanting to make a amplifier or whatever it is so that he can have a song. And she goes, it's kind of like a road trip adventure. Her grandmother takes her and they travel to where this whale is, because he is like across country, I think. Yeah. The only thing I didn't like about this book is I didn't think the grandmother should have took the granddaughter without telling her parents where they were going. But other than that, I really like this one. So that is all the books that I have to recommend for the Monsterathon. And if you haven't decided if you want to sign up for it, you go right ahead. It starts, well, it might be started by the time that this gets up, because I'm getting this up a little late. But that's okay. Go ahead and jump in. I'll leave all the deets down below, and you can look it up and see if you want to join in. It's a whole month-long readathon, so you can do it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you all next time. Bye.